Side. Yeah, tell them we're gonna start. They're gonna come on in. Here.
Thomas Jackson.
Here.
Mary Tolliver.
Here.
Ed Schmidt.
Here. We'll have the Pledge of Allegiance.
We set up a travel agency to promote bus tours in the best way to get 30 to 40 visitors to come in at one time and then the campus. So we have a need for restaurants and hotels, and we need a large camping site someplace nearby that is developed that we can use. One that's developed. Of course, I know there's some breaks, things like that. They come in, the tourist comes in and spends money. It all comes in from the outside. Now there will be local businesses, of course. And when they spend their dollars on the local county, nearby parts of the longevity where we'll build so I would like to see how the local people think as much as possible. You may see some publicity about it. So, anyway, it should be happening. Happy to have it. At least just be goodwill.
Thanks. Mr.
Suggested a secondary approach, which would be a lot less work for the county, a lot less taking of another person's property, actually less than 3 feet of a person's land, which the county would use in the first place. If it were to use an excavator sitting in the road, it would have to
60 foot, the contract agreement in Letcher County, they cut it down to 20 foot. If you come through there, tourists come through there, from in and out from Chicago, they run that north road, like a restaurant. Want to trade?
I did call them and they says they cannot find the right of way for it. The only thing that they know that it was a county road in the 30s and it was taken over by the state, and that their general right of way is from the top of the slope to the toe of the ditch, you know, which is
Yeah, I
from,
just want to know whether or not Letcher County line is, too, as well as how much width it is. They did not buy it, I know they did buy it. They contracting agreement, and I'm gonna give them 1 year. If they able to do it, they come back 50 years later. We don't 60 foot, the hell we do.
well, I did contact the state and they don't
Well,
know.
we're gonna do, go to Clinton. The state don't know, we all know what we own, boys. Women tell me, we all know that. You all know too. I never that far apart through. This guy over here, his dad taught me too. Carl Hampton. But I keep talking that to read and write a little bit. Like say ABC, GYSWBSSR2, like that. All the way to 8. But I know what I own, I think I know.
Well,
All I'm just asking for just a thing, tell me, boys.
I did try to follow up on it and to get the right of way for the state road. It's, you know, it is a state road instead of county
They
road.
never did survey it, did they? The county's never surveyed either. And Carl Hall, big man, stupid, they've been out there surveying. We know better, we've been living on it, we know better. We don't go far enough. Hey, we don't go here, jump on. I'd like to find out, are we gonna find out? Will we ever find out? Will we ever know?
All I know, them was, you know, I got hold of, it's a state road, and I tried to ask them where their right of way was, and I made several calls. I think you was in the office most time I was
Yeah,
calling.
sometimes you get-
And, they didn't know, and it's a county, you know, the county doesn't have a right of way for it at all, because it's a state road, and if they don't know where it is, I don't know what we can do to.
It was deeded to the county to first start with. I mean, it wasn't deeded to the contract agreement. It was Letcher County.
But I really don't know where else to go to.
Well, where could I put my lines to take that with me? Could I call it over Knott County at the Hammond? Or call it up here at White?
I don't know, Deborah. I can't advise you on that. You might get an engineer to help you with it, but I can't.
Well, could I have you to see some way to get the county surveyor to survey it? I don't have really too much money.
But, I mean, in order to have a survey, you have to have a right of way, and the county doesn't have a right of way, it's a state road, and they can't tell me where the right of way is, so I don't know what the county surveyor would
They
survey.
know where it's at, they don't own it, huh?
What?
They don't own it, they can't tell you what they own it.
I can't answer that. Earl might be able to.
I couldn't find anything.
Why?
I couldn't find anything.
You know where the lines is in Knott County, it seems. I'll tell you, Letcher County.
But I don't know what else to tell you, Deb. I think, you went down the same path I went to try to find it out. I
If
couldn't
you
find
can't
out.
find my deed, it's not on record, I don't own it, I don't own it. The guy once got it on record, and owned it. Always been, is that right, law? Earl? Huh?
I can,
We elected you, but you still can't explain simple questions.
yeah, well, that's not a simple, that's the whole problem, that's not a simple question. You can acquire rights of way and roadways many different ways, it doesn't require deed. You
Most
can do
times,
it by adverse use.
but most of it's stealing, aren't
No,
it? Yeah, that's exactly it.
I'm sorry I can't answer your question, I can't, because there is no answer. There's many ways, the state claims they own a right of way through it. So they got a roadway through
I'd
it.
like to claim it, just tell me
It's
where
been
it's at.
there, I think the guy told me it's been there since, the 30s.
It was contract agreement, December 17, 1935.
They say, you know, we don't know where the line's at, but we're claiming the right of way, we maintain the road, it's a state road. That's what they told me,
Claim it and say
and
it.
it produced a deed, they did.
But if I say I own this thing, I gotta prove I own it, don't I?
Has anybody talked to anybody from Knott County, maybe they,
Well,
might know.
these boys here are more affiliated than I am. I'm asking them would they go there right out to just call a judge over our side and get, not, we take what the Knott County takes. They have a survey for their part. It never was surveyed. We don't. Knott County got a survey. They bought their right.
Everybody that wants to speak, but we need to give the person that's speaking the floor so everybody can hear. And then when that person gets done and the next person speaks, then everybody listen to them. And we'll go around, and then if we come back and want to speak again, we'll do that too. And it may take quite a bit of time to get around to everybody, but we will. But we want to, we don't want the meetings turn into a hollering match, because nobody's gonna accomplish anything that way. So, to try to bring everybody up to speed on what we're doing, I guess in December and January, the court talked, we were approached by Division of Water to enact flood insurance. And so we brought it up to the court and talked about it in court, and decided to have a public hearing. And we had a public hearing on, I think it's February the 24th. February the 24th to talk about flood insurance. So then we scheduled this March the 18th meeting to discuss flood insurance again. So we've talked about it in 2 or 3 meetings, and we've had a public hearing, and we're going to have another public hearing here tonight and let everybody talk, and before the court votes tonight. But to kindly set the stage in what we're doing, and I hope everybody understands that everybody will get a chance to talk, everybody will get a chance to voice their opinion, as long as everybody respects the rights of whoever's talking and not butt in and not start hollering and going on. So, to kick it off, and so we can, I'm sure it's gonna spark some discussion, but to let everybody know what we're talking about tonight. We're talking about the county participating in the National Flood Insurance Program. Personally, I think it's the best thing for the county. In the long run, I've got some problems with it, probably like everybody else here. But I think as a whole, it's a good program, and it will allow us to have flood insurance. So to get things started, I would like to put a motion on the floor, on the table, for the county to adopt the National Flood Insurance Program. Now, with that said, we will start the discussion, and then after everybody's had their say and we've had reasonable time for discussion, then we'll bring that vote to a head. So we'll start with the front. I would like to ask the people that want to talk. The acoustics aren't real good in this room, so the one that wants to talk, if they'll stand up and say their name and give their talk, I think that if they'll come up to the front where the court can hear, and obviously the people in the back can hear, if a person in the back tries to talk, the people in the front can't hear. If the people in the front talk, their voice comes this way, they can't hear. So if they'll come up to the front, then I think that'll make, it'll help keep control of the meeting. And we'll start in the front, and we'll start with Tina. Would you like to speak, sir?
Yeah, my name's Russell Whitaker. I live in Pine Gap. And the flood insurance, if they force me to take it, I'm in no danger.
The program
Well, wait just a minute now, and the zoning law, if I want to build a little building out there, a dog block or something other, then I have to get a permit. I'm already taxed to death. I'm on a fixed income. They tax me anymore, they might as well take me out and shoot me. That's all I got to say, but I'm against it.
It's my understanding, Mr. Whitaker, that this program only applies to people that are in the floodplain. And that means nobody is going to be forced to buy any kind of insurance, even if you are in the floodplain. It will allow people the opportunity to buy flood insurance anywhere in the county if they want to. Now, as far as the permits are concerned, then the permits are only required in the floodplain, and there's nowhere in Pine Gap that's in the floodplain, so you won't have to buy insurance, and you won't have to have any kind of permit, because Pine Gap is not in the floodplain. So, as far as I understand it, and I've talked to other counties, then this has no effect on your property whatsoever. It's only the people that are in the floodplain. And I need to take about 2 minutes. We've stuck a map together, and I meant to bring it out, and I got carried away and didn't bring it. If you all will bear with me about a half minute, let me go get a map, and I'll explain what we're talking about. In the flood zone. Now, this map was put out by FEMA in 1977, and it's the most recent one there is. There's not a newer one. If we do participate in this, there will be a newer one, I understand. Right here is Hammond, and this is up to the mouth of Greg's Branch. That's Greg's Branch right there, and it is in down, there's a neon junction. So the parts right next to the river, just the areas that are in yellow, and this is Neon Junction, and this is Tom Wright's house right there. So just the areas that are in yellow are the only areas that are in the flood zone. And that's the only areas that will require a building permit.
Can I speak on that?
Yeah. We'll come right down this way, one. But, from the Division of Water were here, and they said that those are the only areas that this will be affected by. Those are the only areas that will require a permit in the areas in yellow. And it's,
Would they put that in writing?
it might, but the valleys are pretty steep. You know, if you go up a foot, you know, it doesn't get a lot bigger because it's pretty steep. Let's get back in the line. We'll let everybody talk again. I meant to get that map a while ago, and
Could you show me Thornton? Because I know we in the flood area. I've lived in the flood area all my life.
we'll show you just as we come back, and I think the map of Thornton is in it.
Yes, and we could not get, Letcher County, only one didn't have flood insurance. Many times I slept on the spring.
Okay, let's try to stay in line so everybody gets to speak. Does that help you, Mr. Whitaker?
If they'll put it in writing, let it on the zoning, I'll go along with it, but other than that, I'm against it.
The ordinance that we have got that we're considering talks about the areas that are in the flood zone. Is that right, Harold? So, the people that are out of the flood zone can buy flood insurance. Now, this doesn't mean that's the only place in the county that ever floods. If a tree comes down and stops up a small stream, covered in a small stream, a stream that's not in the floodplain can flood. And if you don't have flood insurance, then you're just flooded out. Now, you can buy flood insurance. If we participate, you can buy flood insurance that is not in the floodplain. And you can buy it if you are in the floodplain. But if you build in the floodplain, you have to build so that your structure is up above the level of the water. You can build right in the middle of the river if you build according to the standards. That, you know, and that keeps you up out of the water. Now, that's what they explained it to me. And as far as the way they told me, it has no effect whatsoever on people that are not in those yellow areas. Sir?
Ralph Prophet, Fleming, Neon. Way I understand you, Neon, the whole city, Fleming, Neon, be in the flood control area. That's what you say?
The city of Neon, if you'll notice on this map,
Well, you was pointing there.
Right.
It showed me about where it's at.
these areas that are already blanked out, this is the city of Fleming, the city of Neon. These areas are already in the program. The city of Neon, all of the city of Jenkins, all the city of Whitesburg, and the city of Blackie are already in the program. They've already voted to participate in it.
Well, I figured Neon would, they vote for everything that comes along, because they think they get more money in the pocket. That's just the way it goes. I live there.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you something, not all of Fleming is in the flood area.
That's right.
I live 175 feet from where the flood, I've got a little hollow that runs down, it gets up maybe 3 or 4 feet deep, but it's cut out enough till it don't bother nobody in that road. But still yet, they're gonna try, and by the way, I wanna ask you another question. Whenever you get this flood control, next thing you're gonna holler for, because Crad brought this stuff in here years ago, you're gonna start saying, well, we gotta zone everything, and everybody's gonna have to buy a permit for this, and everybody's gonna have to buy a permit for that, just like this man said a while ago. You're gonna have to buy it before you can drive a nail in your wall. If the board comes loose, you still gotta buy a permit to put that board back.
It is zoning in the, this is zoning in the yellow. It's what
Well,
goes down.
let me finish.
Not really good.
I don't even believe it's constitutional to do that. If I understand anything at all, and I don't know a whole lot about the Constitution, but I do try to keep up enough so I can sort of look at things a little bit. But if I own a piece of land, and like this gentleman over there, he said he owned his land. If he owns his land, he owns it. I own mine. I don't want nobody, I don't live in Russia, coming to me and tell me that I have to buy a permit to do what I want to on my property. I can upgrade that property anytime I want to, according to the Constitution.
Follow up on that a little bit. I talked to the deputy judge in Harlan County. His name is Ed Harris. Harlan County County participates in this program, and he is the person that's responsible for implementing the program in Harlan County. He said that he spends about 30 minutes every month total on this project, and that their permit cost is zero. That if a person wants to build in the floodplain and they come in and ask for a permit, then the cost is zero. Now, I'm not gonna tell you that the total cost of that is gonna be zero, because obviously you're gonna have to do some engineering and you're gonna have to build according to code, and there will be some cost there. But once you build up out of the floodplain and the water comes and you don't get flooded, I think you'll understand what the program's about. But it's not trying to put any kind of pressure on anybody to get a permit or to sell them a permit. Ed said that the county cost for implementing this program was almost zero. He said there's obviously some cost for filling out the reports and whatever, but the cost to the public for those permits is zero. Now, I'm not going to sit here and promise you that the cost of the permit will be in zero in Letcher County all the time either. I will tell you that for my say the cost of that permit will be zero, and I don't think there's anybody else here that's going to put a cost on it, but I'm not going to tell you that's the way it'll always stay. But
what I had reference to, you've got about 85% of the people in this county is on a fixed income. All right? Will you agree with that? Maybe a little higher.
I don't know what the percent, but I know that a lot of people are on fixed
I
income.
had to buy, say for putting up a fence or building a dog house, or doing all the things that a man's all the time doing around a piece of property. And a house that you buy, and they've already raised some taxes on everybody's homes up there, and whenever you bought them for $1,700. And you come in to them, they come in, they said, well, he did this, he improved his property, now we're gonna raise the tax. It's not just in this county, it's in the state, it's in the federal government. Everybody raises taxes according to what you do. Why? And then they holler, oh, we don't have money for this, and we don't have money for that. It's a funny thing to me, little countries like Canada, and places like that can furnish their people even down to as big a thing as health insurance, but yet the United States, as big as it is, can't furnish anything for their people. They all the time oppress them, but more taxes, more money, give us more money and we'll be your friend. I know I ain't gonna have many friends after this, but I'm not mad at anybody. I'm just saying that we need to get the thing straightened out to where that a man won't have to. I don't, like I told you, I don't think it's even constitutional. Tell a man, hey, you gotta buy a permit off of me before I can let you drive a nail or fix a board on your house. I don't think any of these people will agree with that. And that's what's gonna happen.
Sir, you want to speak? One?
Yeah, I live in the Hangman Works, Martin. I've been there 27 years. I worked for the coal miner, and I worked day after day. And he always small coal. Steve Banks Secretary for his dad. And I bought that property. And I feel these magistrates should vote against the benefit of our old people is on retired income and cannot pay this big bill going up. It's going to be bill. Carl ain't going to be in office always for every one of you. We all know that it changes over the years. You all can keep this down during the time when you leave, you can't. Now, you have to agree with me if you can't after you leave. And I say vote her out. She's no good.
Yes, but my name's Delma Seals, y'all probably know, most of you guys. That, you've not explained the whole thing that's tied on to this. You know, go buy a pair of shoes. I don't buy a bricky. Let's tell what it all is tacked to this one thing. There's a lot of people don't know it. And he's right about the fixed income. You all know it, that there's more people living on it. And the state put it out doing welfare and low income. You just keep taxing as long as you go along with it, or we'll be coming home. You first got a good job. We let you do that. But you're doing it again, it seems like. Tell us what all that things are tied into when you get this flood field.
I can, Delmer.
We need it all explained, and not much to Tim, what they got on the book, show it.
What they got on the book, that you can't use it for nothing.
Well, nobody can use
Force it
nothing
down,
for that.
cow pasture.
I don't expect you to use your yard for nothing, I've asked you. They're not asking us,
They
they're
don't
trying to
even
force
use it for, it's cow pasture and boat ramp and tennis court.
you're trying to smuggle something, I believe.
Not me.
I believe something's going on with a rabbit in the wood pile somewhere. You're not telling the whole thing. Somebody's not telling everybody. So it ought to be put up on the table, boy. My daddy couldn't read from line to line. He said, Delmer, always a man, he's gonna be honest with you. He'll sign 10 contracts, he'll sign it 5 times, but he's gonna kick you, I'll kick them things out of one time. So put it up on the table, tell the people what we're gonna do. They'll understand it better. That's all I have to do.
The way I understand it, Demmer, we're gonna have a vote whether to participate in flood program or not. Part of that flood program is land use and zoning in the floodplain area. It will allow the people to buy flood insurance if they want to. If they build in the flood zone, they will have to build according to the code. But if it's out of the flood zone, they're not affected at all. Now, that's pretty simplified, but that's about the best I
Do you
understand.
think my area's in that?
I don't know, Delmer, I can look.
Look and see.
This is Rock House Creek, and right there goes the road, and it looks like it comes up to
You
just
just
below
said
him.
a while ago now, that mouth's wrong, regarding that, what you said. You said they didn't know where the line, but they got a line. How can I believe that? You didn't know a while ago, you don't even know where our own school is. You think you didn't know that. You got a mouth, where it is not letting it line. How the hell can we do that? You can't believe it. Someone's wrong.
It's
If
going,
they go in there.
I think that if we vote this in, FEMA will come in here and reevaluate this flood area. Some places could get bigger, some places could get smaller, and it may very well change. This is all we've got going right now, but this is a local ordinance. This court right here is the one that's putting it in. And if I thought it was gonna be wrong for the people in this county, I wouldn't be for it, but I think it is right for this county. And but if this county puts it in and it turns out to be wrong, or I feel it's wrong, then I'll be the one to make the motion, take it out, and we can rescind it. It's a local ordinance. Daniel, you want to speak?
Yeah. I'll do my best to stick to what's involved here. To begin with, I have resented referring to that as flood insurance. Why not refer to it as zoning? Just exactly what they tried to put on before.
Exactly
Now,
right.
we don't, I don't think there was one in here that would be opposed to anyone buying insurance. It would be stupid of me or any of you to try to oppose somebody buying insurance. That would strictly be their bid. I bought my property in 1940. There was three coal companies mining it. And gas companies own their mineral on it. The oil companies own their mineral on it. In fact, we just own the skin, just the skin of the property. If we have to give up any more rights, what have we got left? And as you said there, that they might change this map. In other words, that's just getting their foot in the door. They're subject to do anything. That's my understanding from what you said there. That
They may very well may change it. I can't tell you that they won't, because the Division of Water people said that FEMA would come in and reevaluate it. It didn't say they would, but it said they could. And I think that they probably will in some areas. There's probably areas now, part of the area in Neon that used to flood real bad doesn't flood anymore. So it may very well go out of it. There's parts that didn't used to flood that may flood now, so it may very well change.
And there's another thing. How many of you people in this crowd have read that ordinance? I bought a book, you read the ordinance. It's rather restrictive, dude. Indeed. You're told what you can do and what you can't do. Well, that's something that people in the mountains haven't been accustomed to. They've been accustomed to using their property as they saw fit. And they want it to remain that way.